second tape. My name is Allen-Lisbon. This is
Megan Johnson.
And Julius Greg.
These are a couple of student athletes that I've met over some time, and I wanted to kind of get their perspective on a couple of issues that I had to talk about. The main issue is the relationship between college athletes and higher education. So I'm going to start off with why do college athletes select their colleges and where they go?
All right, who's it going to be? Consensus top 10 high school basketball recruit Stanley Johnson makes his college choice. Is it Arizona, Kentucky, or USC?
Without further ado, I want to announce that I'm going to the University of Arizona.
Right, Jaleel, let's begin with you. Before we hear where you guys are going, there are plenty of people watching who do not know your story. How did your friendship start and evolve to where it is today?
Well, I've known Ty since I was in about third grade. We played against each other in Orlando, Florida for nationals. I beat him in the Elite Eight, which I often brag about. And we rekindled our friendship my freshman year, playing with USA Basketball. We went overseas to Mexico and won the gold medal, and also did the same thing in Lithuania the following year. So we just want the opportunity to win, and I think us together give us the best chance to win. And that was the main thing of us wanting to go to the same university. And, you know, he's like my best friend. He's like a brother to me. And if you take basketball out of the equation, that is still somebody I would like to go to college with.
Well, you have to be close to share a big moment like this right here on ESPNU.
This has been our goal and dream for the past, 2+ years. And so we were set in stone on going to school together. And so that's what, we're planning on making it happen.
All right, guys, Jaleel Okafor and Tyus Jones, it is time to show America, where will you be attending school together?
Duke University.
Well, in my eyes, student athletes pick the college they want to go to for a lot of reasons. You got religious reasons, you got family reasons, you got personal reasons. So when you ask reasons, it's a broad statement. So me being a student athlete, my reason was I had a lot of stuff going on at home, so I didn't want to go too far from my mom, and she not be able to get to me, well, I'd be able to get to her, so I chose to stay close to home and play close to home. And I don't regret going to a smaller school for my reasons. So,
And what school did you go to?
I went to Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And what did you play?
Played football. They wanted me to play basketball and baseball, but I just stayed with football.
I went to school in South Carolina. I went to 2 universities. My first school was in South Carolina. The reason I chose South Carolina was because I got a scholarship and I really bonded with the team. I swam for 2 years there, and then just for being closer to family reasons, I transferred to a school in Minnesota so that I was able to go home on the weekends if I needed to. And I swam there for 2 years as well. I chose it for the smaller atmosphere, student-teacher ratio, because academics were equally as important to me as athletics.
We kick things off at Westfield High School, where the area's top recruit, Ed Oliver, stayed true to his longtime commitment to his hometown Houston Cougars.
It's a blessing to be able to move on to college ranks and play amongst the best guys from their high schools, and just a blessing. Multiple reasons. I can't even state all the reasons, but multiple reasons. One being coaching staff, brother, the direction of the program right now, the H-Town takeover, everything, good recruits. It's one of the best programs to be around right now.
Several of his teammates signed their letters of intent as well, including Dylan Sterling Cole to Arizona State and Keith McGee to Texas A&M. But perhaps the biggest surprise came from wide receiver Tyree Cleveland, who switched his commitment from UH to the Florida Gators.
It was a process I was thinking about it a long time, just trying to make sure I do the right choice and the right thing. And what made me choose Houston was because I always grew up a Gator. I always watched them on TV in my childhood. So, going back there and playing for them is an incredible thing.
Moving over to the state champion Katy Tigers, running back Kyle Porter was one of the nation's still uncommitted players. When he put pen to paper, though, it was the Texas Longhorns who came out the victor of the talented running back. Multiple members of the Tigers joined Porter in putting pen to paper And the Houston Cougars continued the H-Town takeover as they inked star safety Colin Wilder. Out at the pavilion, HISD held its signing day ceremony with more than 50 student athletes signing to play college sports. Another big signing day flip came as Westside's Jordan Elliott switched from Michigan to the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, I just thought it was the best fit for me. The family atmosphere there. They really brought me in and made me feel like it's home. So that's just somebody I want to play for. He's big. He's a big part of it. It was a tough decision, but he sat down with me and talked to me and told me, whatever decision I make, that's my decision. I'm gonna have to live with it. So I really thought about that and prayed, and I think I made the right decision. I know I made the right decision.
The U of H Cougars continued their run as they locked up Bel Air receiver Courtney Lark and Lamar lineman Dixie Wooten III.
It's exciting because really, majority of us, none of us never thought about U of H. U of H, they was kind of low, so everybody was thinking about going out of Houston, stuff like that. But then Coach Herman and the teammates that's already there, they changed U of H, and then we just hopping on board.
I mean, it was hard because everybody know my heart was always with Miami, but then I realized, why can't we do that here? Why can't we create a U here? We have enough talent, so I decided to stay home with Coach Herman. It was an excellent decision.
With so many events going on Wednesday, we couldn't be at every ceremony, so here's a look at some of the other area football signees.
For me, my reason why I picked my school was mainly because of the religious beliefs. Mine was really based off of the Methodist religion, so it was both the spiritual as well as the on the court enlightenment. So I had a good connection with both the chaplain there and the president there, so it was more of a product for me. I need pros and cons. So pros and cons between bigger colleges and smaller colleges. So both of you guys said you kind of went to smaller liberal arts schools. What do you think benefited you for going to that school versus if you would have went to a bigger college? I'll start with you, Julius.
I think it benefited me greatly because I got to be around a smaller atmosphere, as well as really get to know my peers and people around me more so than going to a big school, where you rarely see the same person twice. Or like I said, man, my reasons was to go to a small school. Could I have went to a big school? Yes, I could, but for my reasons and my personal beliefs, I think small school was better for me.
Yeah, I wanted to be a name, not just a number, essentially. And you have greater connections by going to a smaller school, just because you get to know everyone, and then everyone remembers you, and then it's just easier to hold on to those connections. Whereas at a larger school, sometimes those connections are lost, or they're not always there. But yeah, so that was my reasoning. And it just kind of felt more like a family versus just like a large,
Just being a number, like you said.
Yeah.
All right. Another question I have: Should colleges have a mission statement specifically for the athletic department? So what I did was I actually looked around and I found a couple mission statements that were directed towards specific athletic departments, but a lot of them are branched off of their main mission statement based off the college. So at your school, I actually did pull up a couple of your mission statements. So based off your school, do you feel like your school lived up to your mission statement, or do you feel like it helped you with your overall outcome?
I felt like my school did a lot of, seminars and stuff to kind of help us for success outside of school. After we're done with athletics, and we had companies come in specifically for athletes to kind of talk and about different job opportunities, and then we would have these seminars on how to create a resume, and emphasize the the aspects that athletics had given us that separated us from like other people that weren't athletes in college. But I mean, looking at this, it's pretty. My mission statement for my school is pretty broad to interpretation. So I would like to think that they prepared me, but I'm also like a type A personality, so I feel like I prepared myself as well.
Well, based off my school's, mission statement, I feel like, did it help me? Yes, it did. Did it have programs like specifically set up for helping student athletes? No, it didn't. But at the same token, if you really paid attention and remember that you was a student first and an athlete second, even though sometimes it's often switched around, that you kind of help put yourself in situations. Like she said, going to a small school, you build relationships. So it's not too many people. Speaking of school, I met you at school, so it's not too many relationships that you build on that type of occasion that you don't often come around to later in the future. So I think I would give them a thumbs up and say that they did, go along their mission statement. Could they have done more within the mission statement? Of course, there's always more to be done. But you know how people stick to the basics, so they went straight out of the book. But like I said, it's a lot more that needs to be implemented and changed within this mission to really fulfill the goal of post-graduation, post-athletic.
Not just going through like the motions,
Right,
but actually like calling us up and make sure like, oh, you guys still like you need help getting a job? Like, let's help you get that job because you should take care of us.
So they gonna send you that letter in the mail about them alumni dues. So I mean, they might well send you a letter in the mail about, hey man, we got this job. I know some of them alumni Fortune 500 business, got their own business. They can come out and help some way, form, or fashion. It's not all about giving money. Show me a way to make money.
Yeah.
Next topic I have is GPAs and graduation rates. So it's been a real big dilemma right now on if GPA is important to college athletes, first of all. And then also, is it technically watered down the education that we're getting as student athletes compared to a traditional student? So in your opinion, is GPA and graduation rate important to the athletic department, or do you think it's kind of getting washed away based off the talent that's coming in and out of the school?
It's important to the athletic department as far as getting you enrolled. But once they get you enrolled, I mean, they kind of throw it back in your face like it's up to you. You feel me? Granted, there are plenty opportunities for you to be successful in college, from study hall to tutors to anything you can name for a student athlete. So therefore, for a regular student, so it's really no like we talked about before. There's really no excuse on why you fail. You feel me? And then it's the question that comes up: does the university do everything possible to help the student, but at the same time, does the student do everything possible to help themselves?
Absolutely. With my school, we had grade cards, so every 3 weeks we'd have to go to our professors, have them write down what grade we're getting in the class and how many missed classes that we had, and then they had to sign it. And we always had to report that to our coach before we could ever like compete or go on. If we were missing a certain number of classes, we were punished by being benched or like having to go to extra study hall. And same with our GPA. If like you had a below a 3.0, you were in study hall, and depending on how bad your GPA was, that meant more hours in study hall. And then we had like a thing called the greenhouses, which was where like you could get tutored and put in more hours. So the resources are like never ending for athletes, but it's just a matter of whether or not you take advantage of those and seek out help when you actually need it.
I think that question would be better, addressed to a bigger school athlete, because they're the ones who kind of get lost in the numbers.
Right.
Like she said, we always be remembered if you did anything great at the school, if you went to a small school. But the ones who get lost in the numbers are the ones who go to the bigger school. But like I said, if you do your homework and look into the bigger schools, it's somewhat impossible, for you to drop below a 2.0. Like that's all they're asking you to keep is a 2.0. It's not like they saying, hey, you got to keep a 2.3 or 2.5. They're asking you to keep a 2.0 to be eligible to play sports. So, like I said, it's a lot that's overlooked in that, because if you're a superstar player, like he said, you can get pushed along. They're gonna make sure you got the grade. But what if you're one of those players who can be a superstar, but you haven't quite reached your potential? You're gonna be one of the ones who fall by the wayside and forget.
Right, and then they don't care as much because your playtime doesn't matter as much because they don't really need you.
You don't affect the outcome of a game.
So yeah, like I don't know for you, but I can't speak for experience because with my school, like we were all so like tight in. Like you have to put down the phone number of the professor when you like sign the grade card. So like my coach is calling the professor
to
make sure.
Speed down too. So.
Yeah.
But they'll call the coach
like you can't get away with anything.
They'll call the coach personally, like, yeah, Julius ain't come to class today. Before I know it, my phone ring like, man, what you doing? I'm like, coach, what you talking about? You supposed to be in class. Got some stuff going on, but so yeah, but that's what you get from a smaller school. They're more entwined into what's going on with their athletes.
Yeah, because I feel like more things happen at larger schools because the connection between athletics and academics isn't as tight knit as a smaller community, which is another reason why I wanted to go to a smaller school.
Right. So you're more educated driven more than focusing on your athletics.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next question I have is pros and cons for athletes versus non-athletes. So in this sense, like we were talking about GPAs and graduation rates. Right now, what I found is that about 86% of student athletes at a D1 school do graduate. So basically, do you feel like the education of non-athletes' education is higher than the athletic education?
No, I feel like they workload lighter.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Because
if we all took the same major, but me and her was athletes, and you wasn't, your workload lighter than ours because you don't have to go to a practice, you don't got to study no plays, you ain't got to go sit in no meetings. On top of still doing homework, some people got situations at home where they got to work. Like me, I had 2 full-time jobs, full-time college football player and a full-time student. Had no time to go out and bull job and let my grades drop or had to retake classes. So I had to be on top of my game each and every day. But a person who's a regular student, you really don't know how that feels. You're only, if you got a job, it's probably because you moved off campus and you want to have your own money, or you get your stipend, you get not big enough. But your only worry is turning in your homework. That's it, and going to class. That's it.
Yeah.
In terms of pros and cons again, do you think there are pros and cons of being an athlete versus being a non-athlete?
To tell you the truth, I believe that a student should be well-rounded holistically, that may sound mentally as well as physically. And athletics provides a sense of discipline, a sense of teamwork, a sense of leadership that generally those kinds of qualities are the set of skills that a college wants, but more importantly, even after college, for postgraduate work, those are the set of skills that they want. So the idea of mastering those skills as well as performing academically, I think is meaningful.
Usually I wake up around 6 o'clock and hop on the 6:15 bus over to the stadium. When we get here, I usually get something to drink pretty quickly, a Gatorade, a couple waters or something because we have a hydration test. Hop in the pool, get stretched out. Then I come up here and eat breakfast, head back downstairs, get taped and get dressed for practice. And then we start off our meetings, get ready to go for practice that day. It's day something double digit. So the grind is set in and we're still just chugging along now. There's a scoring system we have going on between offense and defense, and today I think we beat them 40-39, so Elijah Hood's carrying my pads in right now. It feels great. It's a little load off my shoulders walking in. I'm about 25 to 30 pounds lighter, and that's just because of the new position, playing linebacker now, true linebacker. I finished last season about 250, 255, and now I'm playing between 230 and 235. So we were looking at about 2 hours of free time here after lunch, and I just don't know what to do with myself for 2 whole hours. But for me, it's usually I finish up eating lunch and I go back downstairs to the training room and try to start recovery again for the next day. For me, I love getting in the pool, so I'll hop in the pool and just stretch out, move around a little bit for the better part of an hour, which is probably a little too long to be in there. And then I hop out, I get out and I stretch, I foam roll, and then I just the whole time pumping water and Gatorade down just to try to get hydrated again for the next day.
Beat that tackle, which you do. Nice job. Shot, you're a spill player. You got the first open gap to your side. First open gap is right there. Boom. Well done.
This whole staff kind of really prides themselves on their honesty. They're always going to be really straightforward with you, tell you exactly what it is you did right or wrong on a play. And that's really helped us. It's not like they're only pointing out the things that you did wrong, but they will let you know when you did something wrong, and they also congratulate you and let you know what you did right so you can keep doing that and head in that direction. The second practice did go well for us.
Hey, family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
More meetings, meeting and eating. I don't even remember what I had for dinner. I had green beans in there, so that's good, some vegetables, a bowl of cereal. That's about all I can remember, though. I know I had something healthy. I had some sort of carb and protein in there, too. The third one, we spent watching some of the stuff that went on in our second practice. We just kind of talked some big picture stuff since it was into camp. It was a great day. We came out, had a strong 2-a-day for our last two practices of camp. I think we did really well with it, and we're hoping to carry that momentum into the season now. The rest of the evening, sleep, a lot of sleep. Go home and eat some green beans. I have a lot of green beans at home, eat those. And then tomorrow I'll wake up, go to class, and get ready to do it all over again.
I feel like being an athlete gave us a greater sense for time management.
Right.
Because you have to. Like, if you don't, then you're screwed. And you actually have people holding you accountable. Whereas when you're a regular student, you don't have, those people holding you accountable. You have so much freaking free time.
Right.
Like, I was a TA, I went to school, I swam, and I had a job. So it was like, there was no room for, like, not doing my homework. Or, like, I had fun, but, like, within reason. It wasn't like I was partying every night, like some regular students do. Yeah. Yeah. So, and if I wasn't at class, someone else was holding me accountable to be at class. So you don't really have. I feel like being an athlete created a better appreciation for my academics than if I was a non-athlete.
Second to last thing, post-graduation. So, in a sense, we kind of skimmed over it, but as it comes to post-graduation, do you think athletes are helped to better themselves in terms of a professional field? So I know a lot of colleges and programs, they look more geared towards getting them to the professional level. Professional levels is a low percentage of people that actually do go professional. So for the percentage that doesn't go professional, it's probably like 85%. What do colleges prep those 85% to do after graduation, and how do you think that could be better for the colleges?
I think the time management skills, just like the team atmosphere, a lot of employers are looking for stuff like that. So if you have, if we've honed those skills just by being student athletes, so it's like that already sets us apart from like a normal applicant or a post-graduation, especially if the post-graduation thing that we're pursuing is more rigorous, then it's going to be, they're going to look for someone who can actually handle a rigorous schedule. And then, I don't know, I feel like athletes kind of aim higher, especially in smaller schools. That's what we've been taught to do. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that more schools should focus on, setting up programs specifically directly for post-graduation.
Right.
After graduation.
Yeah, right. For people, whether you're a student athlete, whether you're just a regular student, I think the colleges should specifically set up programs that's only purpose is once this person graduates, your job is to track them the next 7 to 10 years of their life to help them get jobs. And I'm not saying one person can do the job. Put a whole dedicated section or a department just for that. So on that note, I think they can do a whole lot better. But then again, for a student athlete like myself, when I was in school, I was projected to go in the draft before I got hurt. So, everything was okay, we got to get him, make sure he graduated, which I graduated with honors, so that was no problem. But everything was, we need to make sure everything, he don't got nothing to pull him back from the draft, you know, so he can be ready to go. So when I didn't get drafted, it was like, man, like it was a major slap in the face. I'm like, I'm stuck. Like, I'm like, man, I graduated with honors. I went to school for 4 years. Like, what am I gonna do now? And then, like I said, the relationships that you build at smaller schools got me, you know, jobs within my field. But at the end of the day, it wasn't nothing that was set up, you know, through the university. It was something that I did on my own because of who I knew and not what I knew. So that, and I think that's what the world coming to today is more so the perception, like we talked about on degrees, and it's more so who you know more so than what you know. So like if you know the person that's at the top, it's more lenient for you to get a job more than a person that's truly qualified for it. So I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs to the whole situation, but the question is broad, so that's how you kind of narrowed it down.
And I know like different universities do like different things, but I think it would have been nicer if we had like you know, like you have those fairs, like career fairs, or but like they never. My university, like the thing that like really bothered me was that they never did like they did like grad school fairs, but like it wasn't like law school or med school. Like they didn't have those people come in, whereas like other universities do. And so like that kind of upset me because I want to go to law school, but they never like had the law schools sent in, even though like I kept asking like, can you guys have like invite law schools in, you know? So it's just kind of like help us out a little bit. Like if I'm asking, just do me a favor. I don't know.
Okay, my last question. If you were an athletic director of a college or university, what would your mission statement include for your department?
I'll go first since I wrote mine already.
Right.
My mission statement would be like kind of short and sweet. Basically, that our athletes are just as prepared for game day as they are for the professional world when they leave our school, and we will provide our athletes with the tools and resources necessary to succeed in their sport as well as in life.
And then ultimately, how do you think you can measure that after graduation?
After graduation, like you said, sort of like keeping up with them, making sure that they still have those tools available if they need them. Just like being able, like willing and able to connect them with the people that can get them where they want to go. Like take care of us just as much as you did when we were athletes.
Right.
Like we put in our time, put in yours.
Julius?
I think my mission statement would be, I mean, it'll be short and sweet, man, because like it's connected to something that I already have. So it would be, my mission would be for my student athletes would be that, like she said, each athlete will be prepared and set up with the tools and necessities needed to further themselves after college, whether it's 5 to 10 years later. We also will push and open up careers within the university for our student athletes to, you know, help them jumpstart their careers. So I mean, just to add that into my mission some way, form, or fashion, and you know, be great, because like I said, I'm pushing for programs just for that purpose. So if I can add it to the mission where it's required that a student before they graduate get 50 career hours in this department and you use it as an internship, I'm with it.
Any other final comments, concerns, questions?
If you're ever thinking about becoming an athlete in college, definitely do it. I feel like it opened up doors for me.
It does, yeah, it does open up a lot of doors. It does help you build a lot of relationships that you probably wouldn't build just being a regular student.
Right.
And not saying that we saying it's all about sports, but if you was good in sports, use it to your advantage. Like my mom didn't have money to pay for me to go to school, so I use sports to, you know, pay for the school, you know. So do anything and everything to, you know, to up the, you know, graduation rate as a whole, whether it's a student athlete, whether it's just a regular student. We got to encourage and push them more, our youth and even our parents and grandparents, you know, go back to school and get that education that was, you know, that wasn't maybe offered to them at the time where they graduated high school, but now it's offered where everyone can get an education. So I push that, you know, don't just focus on being a student athlete, just be a student in life. You learn from every situation and grow from it.
Well, that's all we have time for. My name is Teray. This is Megan, and this is Julius. Thank you for joining in.
Echo.